financial crisis, there have been moves to require that all of these credit default swaps have to be traded on exchanges where they're more public and can be regulated. That's an example of something that some folks think is linked to the financial crisis that's likely to be regulated more. Another example is there's a proposal floating around to give the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation authority to shut down financial firms that are close to being insolvent, even if they're not banks, and wind them down the same way that the FDIC shuts down banks that are insolvent or close to being insolvent. Again, that's, some folks think that if the FDIC had had that authority, they might have caught some of these financial firms before they had lost so much money and they wouldn't have had to have been bailed out. Instead, they would have been shut down. On the other hand, I'm an economist, so I've got to say on the other hand, right? We are also going to see increased financial regulation that really has nothing to do with the causes of the financial crisis. You may have heard about proposals for a Financial Consumer Product Safety Commission that's supposed to evaluate all financial products and tell us which financial products are more safe for consumers. Aside from the merits of doing that, the thing you should keep in mind is that's a proposal that's been around for several decades. Folks in Washington have wanted to do this. The financial crisis is simply an excuse for doing something that they wanted to do anyway. Similarly, I'm not going to read this to you. I actually read it though. For those of you who use credit cards, if you've read the inserts that have started to come in your credit card bills telling you about how the terms of your credit card agreement are going to change, in some ways that make it look like they're making it better for you, in some ways that make it look like they're making it worse for you. Those changes are a result of new federal regulations. The idea for these kinds of federal regulations on certain types of federal regulations on credit card companies, those ideas have been floating around a long time. The financial crisis was just an excuse to do it. What can we conclude from all of this information that I've tossed out here and all these trends and so forth? I'd like to leave you with two thoughts. One is that if you look at all the trends and you kind of think about what's going to happen in the future, it looks like regulation is a growth industry. And for those of you who are either officially students in public policy programs or interested in public policy, that means that there will be an ever-increasing demand for people who understand how to assess and analyze the effects of regulation. So if you're thinking about a career in that area, you're going into a growth industry. Second big thing to think about is this, that there are ways that the public can get information in front of regulatory agencies that may affect the decisions they make. And so all hope is not lost, and there are opportunities for all of us to be involved in the process in one way or another and hopefully lead to better regulatory decisions. I am by nature an optimist, and so that's how I want to finish.